Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Last Son. This is Journey Through the Cornellverse. Today we're taking a look at Championship Wrestling from Wigan. Formed in 2018 by local boy Curtis Jenkins, Championship Wrestling from Wigan offers a deliberately old school style of wrestling, a throwback to the very earliest days of wrestling in Britain, where blows are stiff and submissions are excruciating. Cleverly positioning themselves as the polar opposite of 21 CW, they market themselves as a real man's promotion, and their wrestlers are portrayed as legitimate tough guys, not sports entertainers, and as such, they've been able to attract fans who have been put off by 21 CW's glitz and glamour. How much long-term interest there will be in a company that is so defiantly no frills remains to be seen. You are an insignificant company. $12,000 in the bank. You're based in Northern England. If we take a look at your size, you have a 15 in Northern England, 6 in the Midlands, 6 in Wales, 3 in Scotland, and 2 in Southern England. You're not going to have any other presence around the world. To get to that next size, tiny. You have to gain 2 more popularity to get to 17 in Northern England. That could possibly be done. Depends on how good your shows are, the economy and the wrestling industry, all that good stuff. But I think you could easily do that within the first year. If you take a look at your coverage, like I said, you have no coverage, you have no broadcaster because you're insignificant. So you're not probably going to be able to get a broadcaster until you get to at least small. So it'll take a while for you to get any kind of coverage to build your popularity and build your fan base. Your events. You are a monthly event company, so you have events here like Championship Showdown. The AI instructions are all valid titles, should be defended. You have Call to Arms, the King of the North, Battlefield, Only the Strong, Throwdown, Summer Sizzler, Schools Out, Competitive Spirit, the Iron Man Challenge, Head to Head, Winter War. Currently, it looks like you do not have a season finale event. That's perfectly okay. You don't always have to have a season finale event. You may want to pick one as you get to be, bigger in size, bigger company. If we take a look at your booking team, you do have British Samurai as a booking team member. And if we try to look at who else we can potentially add, there's a few other people here that you can potentially add to the team to try to get some of that CE and be able to use that to buy your creative finishes, your storyline angle ideas, your character ideas, all that good stuff. If we take a look at your inner circle, you have nobody in the inner circle right now, so this is a clean slate for you to put in whoever you would like to have. Remember, these roles can positively affect the workers' morale and sometimes lead to them becoming more loyal to you over time. However, choose carefully, because if you have to remove someone from a position, it usually results in a morale penalty. So you just always choose carefully and choose wisely who you want to put into these. Make sure they fit the role that you're trying to pick. That way you don't have to try to remove them at any time. If we take a look at your product, the style name is Pure Competitive Wrestling. The core product and current product are both called Wrestling as a Sport. This is the stereotypical Eastern style. This is where wrestling is treated as a legitimate sport. Fans want to see good quality matches with none of the hoopla that is associated with the Western styles. No face and heel strictly enforced. Final moves are not allowed. High risk moves are not allowed. With these settings, the following consequences happen. Fans expect 100% matches on events. TV shows are 90% matches, 10% angles. Matches are rated on a match quality versus popularity ratio between 80 and 20 and 60 and 40, depending on what gets the best rating. So either way you go, your match quality is going to be more important than popularity. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't get popular workers or build the popularity of your workers. Just means those guys who can go in the ring are going to be a little bit more valuable to making your matches rated higher than guys who can't and are very popular. This style is hard on the workers though, due to the physical intensity and the risk of injury from all those high impact moves. Your fans will be upset by dangerous, controversial, or bloody match types. Matches less than 20% will not be able to achieve world-class scores, and fans are going to expect important matches to be quite lengthy. Fans expect clean finishes to matches. They'll be upset with anything else. Overbooked matches will infuriate your fans. There's quite a few matches that will get penalized, either severely to mildly. You can only pretty much use those basic match setups like a cage or a pole. Others are going to be penalized. Angles will need to be short or they'll lose the crowd. Gimmicks will have no impact. Each show will need at least one match aimed as Steal the Show and one match aimed as a technical masterclass. Fans are going to be put off by the use of crazy bumps and stunt bumps in your segments. Stay away from comedy-based gimmicks for your stars and your major stars. Unmasking a wrestler can have a little significance. It really doesn't add any heat to a segment. And fans would hate the gimmickness of having someone being shaved bald as a forfeit. So all in all, it is a pretty straightforward product. It's bent towards that Eastern style. Match quality is more it's better to have that match quality versus your popularity for your ring workers, because these fans are expecting to see really good matches all the time. We take a look at your titles. We have the CWW Championship. This is the company's primary title. It has a current prestige of 21, and Neil Warburton is your current champion. This is a title that befits such an old school organization. It's treated with the utmost respect. It's a primary level title. The reign's been going on 106 days, 2 successful title defenses so far. You do have a King of the North, current prestige of 13. The current winner is Lenny Macklin, who has won it twice. This is a King of the North tournament that is held every March and is one of the biggest annual events they have. It is a primary level championship that's competed for annually in a tournament. You have the CWW Submission, current prestige of 12. Current 2-time champion is Glenn Ward. CWW Submission title is the company's other singles belt. It is unique that in all title matches involving it, they have to have stipulations where the bout can only end by submission. This reign has been going on 15 days. No successful title defenses so far. Your tag team titles, current prestige of 15. Current 2-time champions are John Michael Sharp, Martin Heath. Tag team titles are generally used to give the mid-card something extra to fight over. Although for such a young company, they do actually have a pretty good tag team division. This reign has been going on 78 days, with 1 successful title defense so far. If we take a look at your roster and we start sorting by people who have a star quality of 70 or above, unfortunately you don't have too many people. You also don't have a very big roster right now. You're not going to be penalized for having a small roster because your size is that insignificant size. However, if we take a look at your major stars and stars of the company, you have quite a few here that's going to be at the top of your card that you can build the main event around, build some storylines around, have feud for the belt, etc. You're going to have Curtis Jenkins, Gavin Owen, John Michael Sharp, Lenny Macklin, Martin Heath, Neil Warburton, Padraig O'Hearn. So all have pretty good physicals and fundamental skills. They have some pretty good primary and mental skills. The performance on a lot of these guys are, kind of mid to lacking, but that's okay because you don't need performance skills really. You need in-ring skills, and these guys have a lot of those. If we take a look at your mid card, this is going to be the vast majority of your workers. they're going to take up and build a lot of the matches that you have to get you from the opener to that main event. So you want guys who can also work in the ring and eventually be pushed into that main event, that major star level. So if you have guys like Glenn Ward, Grant Tapin, Jermaine Granger, J.K. Lee, Johnny Leland, Leighton Buzzard, Linton Minehead, Miles Cross, Pinfall Peters, Vernon George. So again, all guys who are pretty good in the ring physically, fundamentally, they have some good primary skills. You have some options here for guys that you can push into that major star and star level, guys that can help fill out that card as people maybe leave or retire. You have some pretty good options here in the mid card, I feel. Overall shape of the roster is not that bad either. If we take a look at the unimportant perception level of your company, you have 3 wrestlers. These are either going to be young rookies who need a lot of experience, or older guys who have fallen down in the perceptions because they maybe time decline or they've lost a lot of popularity. You guys have guys like Aurelian Bradley, Bryn Archer, Caden King. All good guys with some pretty good physical and fundamental skills. They have some pretty potentially good primary skills and mental skills that can be built upon. Some of them even have actually some pretty decent performance skills. So all 3 of these guys could eventually move into that mid card and higher, I think, and have a pretty bright future with your company. Currently, you don't have any stables. The company doesn't use stables. You also don't have a big roster to create stables. You could potentially maybe create 1 stable or 2 as you move along in the save to potentially group some like-minded individuals together and create some stables based around heels or faces. Potential to make some good choices here. Based on your current style, you also are not required to have any storylines. Obviously, you can run storylines, take advantage of the system to build some momentum and popularity with them, pay off with the storyline successes. You could also just keep track of what you're doing, save-wise, with your different titles, your different storylines, and change those as you move along, but it's not required. Your teams, it did mention that you have a pretty good tag team division. You have Bradley and Archer, Cross and Granger, Lee and O'Hearn, Sharp and Heath. They're really experienced. Tapin and Buzzard, another very experienced tag team. And Ward and Owen, pretty decently experienced. You have a lot of good teams here, a lot of experience, and a lot of them, some of them even have some pretty decent experience. There's one there that has kind of just starting out, but this will make your tag team division pretty strong, and you can always potentially find some other pairings that can make it even stronger. If we take a look at your creative, your franchise players are Lenny Mocklin and Curtis Jenkins. Next big thing, you have Pinfall Peters. Hot prospects, you have quite a few. You have Aurelian Bradley, J.K. Lee, Caden King, Jermaine Granger, Pinfall Peters. Talk to talk, you have Jermaine Granger, Jackie Goldstein. Showstoppers, you have Martin Heath, John Michael Sharp, Padraig O'Hearn, Jermaine Granger, Johnny Leland. Ring Generals, J.K. Lee, Curtis Jenkins, John Michael Sharp, Lenny Mocklin, Neil Warburton. You have quite a few individuals who have momentum on their side and are considered hot. And this game right now has none that's struggling with a lack of momentum or are considered not. You're not going to have a child company or a developmental or a training facility. You do only have that $12,000 available in the bank. You actually currently have no relationships with anybody in the game, so that's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's just kind of basically what it is. Because you are such a small, insignificant company, you're not going to have that probably any relationships built up with anybody because you're not big enough to have the talent trades. You're not big enough to worry about trying to steal other people's workers or anything like that. But if you guys have any tips and tricks for Championship Wrestling from Wigan, please leave them in the comments. I think this is a very interesting company based with the fact of the Japanese style that they kind of have. The, very much in the ring product versus your popularity. That's intriguing to me. I like that kind of style and that kind of product. Leave me your tips and tricks. Let me know, what do you think of Championship Wrestling from Wigan? Do you guys have a lot of saves with them? Are they a popular company with the community? While you guys are down in the comments, you hit a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. You guys have been great so far with the support, and I just want to keep building this channel and trying to get out good content for you guys in the TEW IX community. So, like I said, I appreciate everything you guys do. This has been Journey Through the Cornellverse. Today we looked at Championship Wrestling from Wigan. I'm Last Son. Keep playing, guys. Stay awesome. And I'll see you in our next video.